fantastic. This is GT racing right now.
He's got traction, he's going with the outside of both of them. Maloney!
Oh, he's taken Anderson. Anderson's up to him.
Oh my God! Big crash. Oh my goodness, half the field's going to get rolled.
Second very close. These guys are want to make their way through the field very quickly. Oh, there we go. Oh no, that's massive. This is it. This is over. I can't believe this. Oh my God.
God, what?
Spa-Francorchamps and welcome to Simspeed TV. This is the season finale of Ozicar Skip Barber Series, and it's going to be played out over a 17-lap, 50-minute enduro round here at Circuit Spa-Francorchamps. So I'm David Haynes. Alongside me is going to be Jason Fewens, and let's take a look at the state of play coming into the final round of this season, season 11 of Ozicar Skip Barber Series. The points, this is all important here. Alex John just 9 points clear of James Chastanoff in a incredible battle for the championship. Locked horns here, and Chasty needing a win to try to take this away from Alex John. Not a lot of points in it, and with one race on the line tonight. Alex McKellar in third then, and Sean Doyle, Matthew Mites, Ben Snell. Mites and Snell actually tied there. Russell Clark and Nathan Verney and Darren Tune and Neil Gardner is the top 10 in the drivers' standings. So got the team standings, I would think, where top split racing, the combination of Alex John and Alex McKellar, untouchable there. But just 2 points between Van Diemen Racing and Locked On iRacing podcast interviews. The other teams inside the top 10, Locked On iRacing news and results, Locked On Lads Discord, White Knuckle Racing, Mr. Apex Racing, Locked On Lads Black Sheep Racing, Aussie Car Racing Team, and Norfolk and Chance Racing. I just realized that after I read it out loud. Okay, they got me good on that one. Jason, really looking forward to this one. An enduro round at Spa in these Skip Barbers. Taking a look at the layout here, it is going to be a lot of time full throttle.
Absolutely, it is a critical round, obviously, in the championship, as you discussed. Track very well suited for the skippies. There's lots of drafting opportunities, lots of flowing corners, heavy braking zones, and change of direction. So really one round that I have been looking for all season. 7 odd kilometres around here, which makes for quite a long lap in these skippies. So there'll be plenty of passing opportunities throughout the lap. Like you said, 17 laps over the course of this 50-minute race. There should be plenty of great racing on offer tonight. And with what we've seen throughout the rest of the season, I'm sure the boys will develop a good strategy and win for a good show.
Some really, really famous corners all around here, and for good reason. Got to imagine, though, that some of these long, full throttle stretches like Kemmel Straight, also from Stavelot towards Blanchimont and towards the bus stop chicane at the end of the lap, it's going to keep the packs really, really close together. This Skip Barber car races in a pack normally anywhere we go. Spa is going to have that dialed up to 11, and like you've seen, a lot to play for, not only in that Drivers' Championship, but in the Teams' Championship as well. So how can our different teams work together? Well, they've been working together in qualifying, I noticed. It was a 1 hour open qualifying session that really invited some of the teammates and anyone who could get anyone to work together with them to try to buddy up slipstream in that qualifying session.
Yeah, we saw Alex John, Alex McKellar there working well together. James Chastanoff and Braden Martin, of course, teammates, and they're separated by less than half a second as well. So a couple of drivers out there tonight, obviously playing the long game. They know just how important the drafting is around this track, and that's been playing a large part of qualifying up until now. The cars are almost getting ready to jump onto the grid as we are almost ready to get this final round and final heat of the season underway. And in 50 short minutes' time, we should have ourselves crowned a new champion.
Yep, exactly. So one last race to go, the championship on the line, and Alex John has qualified pole starting alongside his teammate Alex McKellar. for them in the team's championship. Good for John to have his teammate right with him there at the front as well. Russell Clark in third. James Chastanoff, your other championship hopeful there, needs a point swing in his favour, and he's going to start out of fourth. Ben Snell and Braden Martin completing row number 3 for what's going to be a standing start in the typical Grand Prix place. We've got Darren Choon, Neil Gardner, Craig Kermond, Rhodey Cook, Liam Banks, and Sean Doyle for the top 12. Hello, Donna, tuning in.
Yeah, Ashley Knowles and Nathan Verney tonight off row number 7, and Verney a little way further back. Matthew Harriet and Matthew Mites off row number 8. Matthew Mites another one to look for as the field spreads out tonight to make its way through. Peter Wilkinson, Jeremy Bush off row number 9 this evening. And at row 10, we find Ira Felberg, John Snell, Leon Williams and Simon Dobner together off row 11. Mark Jeffrey a long way back, and he's beside Darren Lassou off row number 12 tonight. Quite a big field here to see out the season. And Peter Bowling and Jamie Willits. Jamie Willits not setting a time tonight, so he's the only one who's failed to set a qualifying time. So we'll see how he can go as he makes his way through this large field tonight.
They're ready to go, they're revving, the lights are on, the lights are out, and we're away at Circuit Spa-Francorchamps for a 50-minute race to bring this season home. As is typical, pretty even start from everyone. Alex John, your pole sitter, has the inside line into the LaSource hairpin for the first time. A lot of too wide, so a little dive to the apex from someone there in the middle of the pack. Might have been Liam Banks, potentially trying to make up a spot right behind Sean Doyle, so it actually could have been Bernie or Ashley Knowles potentially. People come down towards Eau Rouge and Radion, cold tires on everyone, and that is a bold move. That's why they're called white knuckle racing, and some positions gained there, but right at the front, starting to fan out, using that slipstream. Alex John all the way to the inside, and you can see those Milo guys working together. Russell Clark has his nose through to the lead of the race. Ben Snell coming along with him as well. So after locking out the qualifying first and second, top split guys immediately back into third and fourth. James Chastanoff right behind them as well. Very eventful start. A lot of jeopardy on the line here as Ben Snell has a slowdown. He's giving up bulk positions.
Yeah, while everybody's congested here now, it's not the time we want to give away any time. So dropping right back outside the top 10 by the looks of things there. So he'll be another one with great pace and plenty of opportunity moves coming up, I guess, as he tries to make his way back towards the pointy end of the field. But we're nearly halfway through this opening lap here already, and it's Russell Clark out in front, leading this field down through. It's a big sequence of left-hand corners, so really loading up the tyres as they make their way. A couple running very wide, getting a bit sideways out onto the ripple strip, and everyone gathers it up, and we're made our way through. Big puff of smoke in the background.
Someone's around. You saw quite a few cars running wide, and it is Liam Banks who's parked up on a little bit of an access road or something there. Not too much damage for him. Hopefully get back in that and running. A lot of excitement up front, early goings, and of course middle of the pack as well. That slipstream and the high speed running at Spa, doing what you would expect with these Skip Barber cars. Snell and Willits in that one, essentially here, almost all the way around to completing the first lap, and they are big laps here on this circuit, just over 7 kilometres as we pointed out. We ride on board with Sean Doyle through Longchamp, and it needs a couple goes of correction. The same's true of Clark, Rhodey Cook, just a little bit up in the picture as well. He got super sideways.
Yeah, lots of people making, I wouldn't say desperate moves, but they know just how critical it is to get yourself a good position and get a good drafting partner this early in the race. We have got 47 minutes to go, so there is a long way. But it's a bit of a fine line. You've got to balance here at the moment. You've got to retain speed, retain position, also keep your car free of damage. If nose damage now, front or rear wing, you can be for a very long race.
Single file, mostly stringing down towards Eau Rouge Radio for the second time of asking, really a lot more tyre temperature this time around, and it's up to the top of the hill where we see the action all start to kick off, with Ira Felberg trying to line up Jamie Willits, all about the momentum of the run off the top of the corner there. And then all the way along the long straight here. Change for the lead. McKellar through. And Chastanoff and Martin side by side for the teammates there. Tune in the darker colour 191 slotting into the middle here as well. Just behind him. Two almost broken free. And so McKellar and Clark out front. Chastanoff has gotten in front of Alex John, which is pretty important for the championship, but not a big enough swing at the moment here to take it away from Alex John. Alex John just looking for a top 5 finish here, I'm sure, just secure in that championship.
Yeah, these drivers up in front of the pointy end of the championship tonight know exactly what they do need to do, and of course that involves keeping that car clean, and plenty of respect we've seen throughout the seasons. Multiple seasons we've had an Ozicar Skip Barber Series here, so a lot of trust amongst these drivers. They know what each other's capable of. Of course, they've had a long history driving side by side with very few incidents, so one of the big bonuses of Ozicar Skip Barber is just how well these drivers treat each other.
Real big moment there for Ben Snell means that he boxes in Darren Tune, and you see this whole pack starting to form here. Sean Doyle not looking massively patient at the moment. Almost looking at 3 wide, but then the gap closes in the face of Brody Cook. The Golf livery now trying to follow around the outside. 2 wide they go, all through Blanchimont. This time around, towards the big braking zone here at the bus stop chicane. Tune still looking pretty clever in this one. I think he's holding on to the lead in this pack at the moment. There is going to be 2 pit stops coming up in this race. The drivers are not going to make it all the way on fuel, and that's going to see some strategies start to unfold. Still just a couple laps away on that one. They're all fighting and fussing and battling for every position that they can right now. Alex McKellar, I think, the leader at the end of that lap just completed from Russell Clark, and at the time going in between those two. And John and Chastanoff, your championship antagonists.
Watching this little battle of Darren Tune leading this little train at the moment. Didn't exactly say it's a bottleneck, but there's a big train of cars behind him, and that'll all fan out as they make their way down this, I won't call it the back straight, but this great drafting opportunity here that's going 3 wide at the moment, so as they pull back and make it 2 wide. 2 Milo cars there sitting side by side. Big dive under brakes by Bernie. I think it might be Sean Doyle actually. Sean Doyle there making the move done.
Yeah, all drivers are rolled out of the throttle, maybe trying to extend their fuel in this early stint. That could be a possibility. Not Sean Doyle, who saw an opportunity to grab a position or 2 and grabbed it by the horns. Brody Cook +3 positions since the start of the race. Sean Doyle is +4 as well. A couple of drivers who maybe didn't get the slipstream hooked up how they would have wanted in qualifying, moving forward in the race. And Snell extending the track very, very significantly on that one.
Of course, very wide track here tonight at Spa. Plenty of runoff for a lot of these cars as well, so it does give us a great opportunity for it to go 2-3 wide in multiple sections of the track. And as we saw in the opening lap, there was a little bit of runoff there, so we have a spin as we watch the Otis car there just get a little bit sideways in the apex of the corner, and he's still trying to catch it up. But unlike some of the other tracks we've been to where it's just concrete jungles, there's a little bit of a chance there for the drivers to recuperate, recatch the car, and keep going without any significant damage.
A few of these Milo machines have looked a little bit of a handful. Very pointy so far in the race. Maybe that'll tune out as they wear through the tyres or some such. You can't get the car pointing the way you want. You're not going fast in the direction that you're meant to. They're pretty well flat out for these guys, but then it feeds them into big old braking zone here, where positions can be made, and if you're Ben Snell, you can get in a little hot, get a little sideways, and now have Sean Doyle going side by side with you down the pit straight. Another lap ticked off, and everyone staying out of pit lane, so still trying to run long on the fuel in this first stint. Capping Clark and McKellar at the lead. The advantage that they've got is trimming down, because I think Chastanoff and John and Martin are going to catch them, and you just have these big packs of 5 or 6 cars. You've got 5 for the lead, you've got another 6 that we've been watching, Ben Snell and Sean Doyle and Darren Tune in that pack. And then this looks like the next pack, currently led by Matthew Mites there. And everyone, bar Liam Banks and Peter Bowling, who had those sort of early spins, is part of any one of 4 very distinct groups and packs of cars. You've got the leaders, you've got this one here, you can see the next pack in the background of the long shot down the Camel Straight. There as well, a problem, contact, Doyle and Ben Snell coming into each other there at the end of the Camel Straight, both of them with some damage there as well.
Yeah, it looks like they might have got away with that initially, but a little bit of secondary contact after they ran off the track actually made Doyle lose his rear wing there. So we might jump on board and have a quick look at the VRS replay and exactly recapture how that all unfolded. Into the braking zone there, 3 into 2 doesn't quite work, and a couple of cars get tangled up, and then once their tyres get caught up, they're tripping over each other. So it looks like both of them managed to continue, but Doyle there definitely missing a little bit of body work off the back of his car.
Three, 4
pictures.
Yeah, 3-4 bits of contact. That wasn't it. It just seemed to keep going. So this is how things have closed up at the lead. The 2-car breakaway being reeled back in. 5 cars for the lead. You've got the team's leaders sandwiching the teammates of Chastanoff and Braden Martin, who are scoring for the same sub-team of Locked On Lads. Russell Clark is sort of the odd one out in this pack, doing well to hold on a second, and all of these guys very clever about their racing. They know that this is just stint 1 of 3 in this race, and there's a long way to go.
Yeah, importantly, it looks like Braden Martin there's got him in front of Alex John, so very early in the race, Chasta getting a real good run out of that whole corner there onto the straight. But as I was saying, every little point that the Locked On Lads can push Alex John back just takes Chastanoff 1 step closer to his 2nd championship.
It's on for sure. So Clark's still going to lead, but being out front of the pack as he comes through Radion almost means getting passed immediately down the following straight. Is Ira Felberg on pit lane, first driver to drive into pit entry. Ben Snell arrived on the tow truck. Shouldn't be too long of a stop, just fuel only for Ira Felberg. What it's done is it's taken him out of any of those packs and any of those slipstreamings. So, bold strategy to pit apart from the pack, I think.
Yeah, very close to the exit of pit wall there on the way out, but looks like he managed to get away with it. But like you point out, comes back out in some clear air. Now, normally that'd be beneficial, so you're not tripping over any other drivers, but the draft here at Spa is so critical that really, I think Ira's going to need someone else to pit and come out roughly where he is as well, so they can work together and try and make some undercuts work in their favour.
Strategy very much resembling NASCAR at Daytona, or super speedway racing like that, where it kind of looks like they're tripping over each other in places, but definitely think that you go faster in a pack than as a driver all by themselves. Nothing to quantify that, but that's how it feels to me, that while you're lonesome, you're going to be spending a lot of time down those straights going. I swear I was going 5 kilometers an hour faster than this with a slipstream.
So while all that's been going on, we have had a change for the lead. We now see Chastanoff out in front, followed by Braden Martin. So there has been a change in points for the team's championships, but of course a long way to go. We've still got a couple of pit stops where they are required to take fuel. There is no compulsory tyre stop tonight like we would normally see in a second Skip Barber race. So being the Enduro, it's definitely a fuel-only stop for a lot of these drivers. All the action at the moment seems to be back a little bit further deep in the pack. Watch this, still a battle of 5. Still scrap over the handful of points.
So very nearly contact there between Gardner and Brody Cook as well. June leading the pack here, nearly went side by side with Ash Knowles through there. Towards pit entry, none of the drivers from this pack. Important for Chastanoff, the lead of the race, that he's got Braden Martin, his teammate, right behind. It creates a little bit more safety for him. It creates a rear buffer. It also creates a points delta, the way that they run at the moment, for Chastanoff to Alex John. Still very early days in this race, but I'm sure that having Braden Martin up there in the top 5 with him is massively bolstering what would otherwise have been slim chances for Chastity.
Yeah, we've seen the locked on cars separated throughout the season. Braden's missed a couple of heats throughout this short season, and we've seen Chastity almost bullied by some of the Milo cars and the top split guys in recent races, particularly at Snetterton. And I think earlier this season we saw a bit of that going on, but at the moment, having a wingman in amongst that pack's definitely going to be playing in their favour.
June and Knowles back at it again. Knowles coming around the outside to take away the lead in this pack and move up in 6th. So Knowles ahead of June. Ira Felberg has found himself a friend. Craig Kermond has just come out of the pit lane with Ira.
Yeah, it's getting a little bit skatey there up through Erin Rouge, but keeping it tidy nonetheless, giving a good opportunity to tuck in and underneath Ira's rear wing there. That all-important run down the Kemmel Straight.
Chastity's bowled a bit of a wide through Puon here. Not even close to the first apex, a bit off the track in the middle, and it's seeing Russell Clark from one way looking the other, thinking, is it wise to try and pass in the middle of the lap here, or do I just wait? And I wanted to pass, but he wasn't fully able. John and Alex McKellar right behind here as well.
So Braden Martin's showing some really good speed at the moment, leading this pack here at the moment. So he's fought his way through this little battle pack, and to lead him at the moment, it looks like he's got really good pace and he's doing it without too much trouble.
Ahead of myself a little bit here, trying to do some points calculations and some things of that like. Exactly where Chastity and John can finish for Chastity to take the championship, because otherwise Alex John, I think, is doing all the right stuff right now, protecting the championship lead. And the whole pack of 5 comes to pit entry. Next pack behind, but Darren Tune all coming into pit entry as well. So it's going to be very, very busy right now on pit lane. It's easier to say who didn't stop than who did. Darren Tune and Nathan Verney carry on. For the rest of them, well, it's the same pack racing, but it's the pit lane speed limit looking for their guy.
Yeah, I'm just thinking Braden Martin might have been staying out. He's dived into the pits as well. So very, very busy in pit lane here at the moment. We are on lap number 7 tonight of what we presume is going to be 17 laps. So a couple of drivers staying out, trying to get that overcut happening with a little bit of a longer fuel strategy. They might have been saving a bit more fuel in those early parts of the race. So they all single file out of pit lane here now again. Braden Martin, the first one to exit pit lane, Chastanoff straight behind him, and then Alex John in P number 3 as we sit in the proverbial standings.
Let's all get them on once again. That top 5 that we had looked like they're all going to still be together. Brody Cook together looked like they might have shook Neil Gardner and Sean Doyle a little bit. This is the championship rivals side by side at the moment. John and Chastity is right on board with Chastity. There goes Alex John, no, right on board with Ashley Knowles. Brody Cook gets past him. Both these guys also stopped.
Yeah, as we watch the battle for 11th and 12th there at the moment, make their way at the end of Kemmel Straight. Good pass there under the draft by Brody Cook, getting the job done. A little bit further back, we've got another great little battle going on with 5 or 6 cars here. Harriet and Matthew Might's in there as well, I think, at the moment, amongst all the others there. So doesn't matter where you look around the track at the moment, there is drivers fighting for position nose to tail in a little train draft. So even though we've had one pit stop, you find a lot of these cars and drivers still working off a very similar strategy.
Absolutely. So your top 4 that didn't stop: Tune, Verney, Mark Jeffrey, Peter Wilkinson. And there is Darren Tune and Nathan Verney going to get scored as lap leaders. I think it'll probably still be Darren Tune when they come to the line there. But
well, don't expect them to make
big surprise. Yeah, big surprise if they went one longer than this.
Watch Peter Wilkinson and Mark Jeffrey here make their way around on the last sector of the lap. Jeffrey leading Wilkinson here at the moment, going into this heavy braking zone into the bus stop. But as you suggest, we'd expect them both to peel off. A little bit of weaving, a little bit of marksmanship and sportsmanship. They're going under brakes, but no change of position. As they make their way out of this bus stop, we expect them all to veer hard right, as they do, into pit lane, and they'll get their first stop done and dusted.
So then that would have been 6 laps on the first stint for our leaders, Chastanoff and Braden Martin, back flying in formation first and second. Then if they go 6 again on this, that takes them to 5 to go in the final stint. See, there is some room now for some gains. Chastanoff and Martin could maybe stop together and stop a little early, or likewise Alex John and Alex McKellar could do the same thing. We could see a bit of divergence in the strategy form now that everyone's run pretty much as long as they could in the first stint. Huge head of speed for Russell Clark, and you can see it looking from Alex McKellar that he had a really big closing speed and then just decided to roll out of it. Alex John had also rolled out of it despite having maybe enough speed and momentum to make it pass. So they're probably all now first pit stops out of the way, looking to that second pit stop now.
Yeah, it's all well and good to lead the race at the moment, but I think the smart strategy here is being played by the Top Split TV guys, because if they can just sit in the back of this little draft train, save themselves a little bit of fuel, they just might get the pass done over the pit strategy as opposed to doing it on track.
Bunch of the cars in that second pack have all reformed again. I thought maybe they'd dropped a couple of drivers, but now that Tune and Verney have made their pit stop, boom, here it all is again. Knowles and Cook and Verney and Tune and Gardner.
It's a real good example of that change of direction and just how these Skip Barbers dance around under brakes. Running on the radial tyres are not exactly a race spec tyre, but of course that allows them to go for some of these endurance races without actually stopping and needing to change tyres. Of course they are a handful, and if you can manage to speed or make your way through these corners with a little bit of slide, sometimes that's a fast way around the corner.
Yeah, you can sometimes publish graphs of how much lateral force the tyre creates based on different slip angles, and for a racing tyre it can drop away quite quickly after 10 or 15 degrees of slip angle. For a road kind of tyre, they seem to keep giving at bigger slip angles. Means they're a little more forgiving on the road, means that they also drive a little more sideways for maximum performance on the racetrack. was actually something that the Michelin tyres had as an advantage against the Bridgestone tyres in the ye olde tyre war times. Different shapes of tread and construction and different ways to try to get performance out of the tyre. This is an extreme that you see from the Skip Barbers, how very sideways they get through the fast corners. This is a lot of damage on Brody Cook's car. So what has happened to him? There's no driver in the car, no nose on the front either. That is missing a lot.
Yeah, quite a bit of panel work and some damage to be repaired there. We'll jump on board a VRS replay again and we'll try and capture exactly how that whole circumstance unfolded to find Brody Cook himself back in pit lane and out of the race for the immediate start anyway. So it looks like a reasonably hard hit no matter what happened. We have Knowles in the front here at the moment, running very wide out onto the AstroTurf. Brody Cook hot on his tail, tucked in underneath the rear wing.
Racing very close quarters at this point. And then Cook looks around the outside of Ashley Knowles. Find anything there. Spa-Francorchamps right up behind Mr. Brewster.
Everything looks standard through here, doesn't it? He's got a tow after the start-finish line. It's going to make for a long, long tow back to the pits.
Yeah, still watching on this one. It can't be too much further along in this if we're on the right lap. So, through La Source. Still all gravy. I mean, oh no, he's driven into the old pit wall just where it comes back towards the circuit there. There are many graceful ways to crash out at Spa. I'm not sure that's one of them.
No, not at all. I don't think he was actually helped from behind either. It seemed like he'd done that all on his little lonesome. Whether he was just trying to get some side draft off the wall or what exactly happened there, might have been just a lapse of concentration. But definitely ending his night rather early.
Still,
we jump back to live pictures here.
Yeah, still pack dominated at the moment. This one is Mites and Harriet and Felberg. And, Leo Williams and John Snell and Simon Dobner. One point to make there. Ira Felberg, though, having stopped earlier, didn't take on as much fuel, and it's going to need some longer stops towards a longer final stop towards the end here. So while he's racing with Mites and Harriet, they're going to have shorter stops than him. So yeah, still a little confused about the earliest stop. That'll keep you feeling young. That sideways up through Eau Rouge.
Yeah, it looks like that might have been Knowles there with just two wheels on the grass. Jeremy Bush there, sorry, just managing to keep the speed up and keep the position, but certainly taking a rather obscure line down the Camel Straight, not the fastest way, but nonetheless managed to keep in front of the little battle pack that is forming behind him here at the moment. Jamie Willits would have had a really good view of it as he disappears very briefly in the background.
Thinking about what some of the leaders are going to do at this phase. We saw people go 7 laps to a stint at the start with a lot of slipstream. Well, leaders this time around are going to be coming up to that point, 7 laps to go. Theory, Martin and Chastanov could pit and then try to save a lot of fuel together, or the normal pit window to get to the end would open the lap after that. So I don't think you'll see anyone stopping this time, hoping to make it to the end, because that'd be a very, very risky gamble. But the lap after, wait and see what might happen on pit entry. It's pack battles, and it's pack battles top to bottom in Ozicar Skip Barber Series, the season finale. finale at Spa. Alex John, 9 points is his lead ahead of James Chastanoff. Chastanoff running in the lead right now. John would hold on to a very slim championship win if he can do 3rd or 4th place here, despite Chastity win. If in quite a few minutes and quite a few laps time they cross the line in the order they currently run, which I near guarantee you they won't, something will happen in the next 21 minutes.
Yeah, of course, we do have another pit stop like we were just talking about before, so that could potentially set the cat amongst the pigeons and split this little group up. Like I would expect to see whoever is the leading group at the time dive into the pits. I'd expect everyone else to follow.
So big overspin here for Alex John in 3rd, and what he is going to do is try to get in amongst this. Russell Clark's also got a lot of speed as well, and he's going all the way down the inside. He's forcing the issue. Russell Clark's gone from 4th up into 1st from the exit of Radion and down the Kemmel Straight. So he made just a very, very bold and strong move there.
Yeah, stamping his domination on this little pack, just showing what he is potentially capable of. But of course, the other drivers will also see the amount of speed that he carried through there, and potentially they can do that later on in the race as well. So we have a quick look now a little bit further back in the pack. This is 14th, 15th, and Harriet and Mike's sandwiched there in between that little group of 3. Mike's looking very, very aggressive there, trying to do his best to get past Harriet in front. I think that's Ira Philberg sitting in just behind him there.
And having stopped early, he's run a longer middle stint here. Ira is probably going to have to pit in at the end of this one, so he's going to be one of the first drivers we see in. That's a bit wide from Matthew Harriet. Almost the low slung car beached on that high curb on the exit. So one of the ones that you end up out there, you sort of end up Tony Hawking it.
Grinding the rails.
Exactly. Going to take a virtual racing school replay. That is Harriet here down towards Rivage, Brussels, whatever you call it. Carried in a lot of speed, as you've got to do. The rear gets away from him, so he's got to steer into it, and that walks the back out. He ends up wide here and not completely beached on the curb there, but it's definitely one of the slightly higher curbs around here. Almost every other curb seems they can drive straight over without any concern. Leaders are coming past pit entry right now. Keep an eye on this. And the answer is all of them stay out, despite being able to have stopped now and gotten to the end. Very, very interesting. I wonder if anyone else, well, in the background, you're going to see a couple of other drivers thinking about it. Ash Knowles.
Yeah, Ash Knowles being the lone duck at the moment, ducking into pit lane and getting his final stop out of the way. So that should mean once he exits pit lane, he can just concentrate, head down, and drive to that checkered flag drops. Another one in the background, also another couple, Ira Philberg, as you called, and orange car there might have been the Craig Kerman diving into the pits as well. So a little bit of action on pit lane at the moment.
4 cars that are fueling up to get to the end. Not too much on-track action right now with our leaders. Look at them all playing follow the leader, just following Russell Clark. And Russell Clark decides he's going to have some fun with it, I think, is what he was doing there. Just walking them left, walking them right. He loves to make kids play Simon Says.
Looked a lot like the Pied Piper.
Absolutely. He held on to that lead. Braden Martin and James Chastanoff. It's like, we're happy following you. And John and McKellar have been so placid this stint. I have to suspect that both of them have been able to save a lot of fuel. Their strategy's got to be a really short final stop. All the fuel they save in this stint is fuel they're not going to have to take to get to the end, because it's not going to be a full fill for this final stop now that they've run long on the first and the middle stint. I think John and McKellar are just trying to play this fuel save game. Martin and Chastanoff are going to be in not too vulnerable of a position now that they've been towed around by Russell Clark, but there's no way they've saved half the fuel that Alex John and Alex McKellar have. Neil Gardner, Darren Toon, Nathan Verney, 6th, 7th, 8th. So everyone in the top 10 except all only Sean Doyle having a bit of a battle at the moment. Another eye to hit in. Leaders should still be able to go another lap after this one on the fuel if they want to. I still feel like someone might think of pulling that trigger early and taking the pit stop now that they're within the window to get to the end.
Yeah, we'll find out in the next 20 or 30 seconds as the drivers make their way around. Great camera angles there from curbside as the drivers all sweep through that fast left-hand corner. Diving into the bus stop now, no change of position as everybody follows each other through, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we'll stay out for yet another lap, so they're going to absolutely milk this tank almost down dry. It's going to make for a rather short pit stop, but we'll run to check the flag. A few cars in the background opting to dive into pit lane.
Yeah, Neil Gardner, and there was another, and they'll trip the timing beam in a second. I'll see it with Sean Doyle.
We have Neil Gardner, Sean Doyle, Jamie Willits, Jeremy Bush, Matthew Mites, looking very busy. Matthew Harriet all diving into pit lane, so a big gaggle of cars. So they follow each other in, which we should expect them to see all follow each other out again. Ashley Knowles, we did see pit one lap ago. He makes his way down pit lane. You can see him on the right-hand side of his screen there. So he gets the job done and the move completed.
Big move in the lead pack, by the way. Alex John has slingshotted himself through into the lead. So where did he come from? He would have been fourth. Fourth in that one. And just goes to show that when everyone else just wants to hold position here, someone willing to keep their boot in it, Alex John in the green and white there, just goes 3 wide, carries all this huge amount of momentum through into the lead of the race. So coming up towards the pit stop for these guys, he's suddenly gotten super aggressive. Alex John to the lead, still has his teammate Alex McKellar back in 5th, bringing up the rear. And then Clark Chastanoff Martin goes a little wide to bring you back to the live pictures. And, you know, maybe I've jumped the gun a little bit on it a couple times, but I have to think this is the in lap for everyone in the top 5 here. It's going to come down to how well they get into pit lane, how much fuel they think they need, and how well they get off the pit lane.
Yes, of course, James Chastanoff would have seen exactly that happen right in front of him. So he sits in P3 at the moment, which, of course, with Alex John out in front isn't enough to secure the championship. So Alex John, the other Alex, making the move done, showing that he means business and he is in for this, for the long fight, and the championship is his for the taking.
Russell Clark trying to take the lead. James Chastanoff trying to come down the inside of Blanchimont as well. Suddenly, they're all so racy in the top 5 as we enter the last 13 minutes of this Enduro. Look at Alex McKellar also trying to get down the inside of Braden Martin there, and all of them then pile into pit entry. They're side by side. Is it going to get blocked? Is the pit entry blocked? No. They all managed to get rolling. Big advantage to Russell Clark. Big advantage to James Chastanoff there as well. Nearly a blocked pit entry there as Alex John and Alex McKellar were side by side racing onto pit lane. Awesome to see with 3 laps to go how much these guys wanted, how much they have turned it all up. You see it right in front of us there. And, he won that battle too. James Chastanoff. Good stuff. Nearly chaos. They're all done with their fueling, all rolling now. What order are they going to be in? It looks like Russell Clark from Chastanoff, from Alex John, from Alex McKellar, from Braden Martin. So no huge discrepancy in the fueling times there. Chastanoff and Alex John running together on track. 3, maybe 4, potentially 4 laps to go depending on the timing. But not long left in this one. Chasty needs a miracle. Alex John needs to keep it on the track.
Yes, of course, Chasty there with a lot less to lose than the championship leader there. So it was a little bit touch and go there for a moment, and Chassis did find himself on the outside going into the bus stop. So I did think it was a risky move, because if Alex John really wanted to, he could have shut the door there and really made things a lot more difficult than he did. So very entertaining for us here, because it keeps this little group of what was 5 is now almost 3. They kind of break away at the moment to lead with a handful of laps to go. But as it stands, Chastanoff in second, Alex John in third. It's just not going to be enough to get the championship cup grasp in his hands.
Someone pump out Nathan Verney's fuel tank after the race and measure it. He's still going, and after with just one stop, doing 7 laps and then 7 laps, first stint to second stint. No one else is doing. It's all fine. He saved a lot of fuel, and he's going to have a short final stop. This is Felberg, made his final stop. He's with Liam Banks battling of 16th and 17th. So everyone's made their final stop bar Nathan Verney, as I think he got a bit of marbles building up on the exit of Rivage there on the outside.
Yes, sliding their way through the corner there, and giving Ira Felberg a good opportunity to have a look at making the pass stick, but didn't get it done here. We jump on board with Braden Martin, and right directly in his rearview mirror is Alex McKellar.
Yep. And they are just out of range for Clark and Chastanoff and John. But I'll tell you what, there's only a couple laps left in this one. I think we're going to see more of that aggression again from the leaders. And in fact, that is what we are going to see as they're side by side towards the bus stop. Chastanoff needs every position and every point he can get, but he couldn't get to the inside for the bus stop here, so he's just going to back out of it, try to set up a good run onto the pit straight again here. Chastity needs the win in this one, where Alex John is running, I think, is enough to hold on to the championship lead. Chastity is probably reaching that win it or bin it mentality at about this point of the championship. You're not going to come to the final race of the season and leave something on the table, leave an opportunity untested.
It's the old story, nothing to lose and everything to gain, but unable to get the pass done back in a single file as they make their way up through on Rouge again for what is the 15th time in this enduro race here tonight. The little battle in the background still going strong with the Braden Martin and Alex John there going side by side down Kemmel Straight, and the leaders make it 3 wide up front.
Alex John can pick and choose whatever slipstream he wants, as those other two ran 2 wide, and he's going to go from third into first at the moment. I think championship leaders side by side at the end of the Kemmel Straight. Another great little 3 wide moment. Hold your breath for Darren Toon, Neil Gardner and Ash Knowles. I think Gardner's got the best position as he absolutely chops across Ash Knowles, who had to roll out of it, maybe even stab on the brakes. That is an unsignalized lane change.
I think we just caught a quick glimpse of our race leader at the moment. Nathan Verney's still out, so he must have filled up his fuel line, his fuel filter, his fuel tank, and potentially the chassis as well, because he is making this fuel tank go as long as he potentially can.
Verney's on his outlap after his final stop, so he's into 6th. That's seen him in between the top 5 and that next battling pack, so it's worked for him. I think he's plus 8 positions from where he qualified as well, so the graphic very kindly says his fuel economy and strategy has worked out pretty well for him in this enduro round, because those are the drivers that he's managed to slingshot ahead of and going longer and not getting tangled up with their shenanigans. Kermond and Jamie Willits. Willits the biggest mover in the race where he stands at the moment, plus 14, because he came from all the way at the back. He's in 12th and having a really good battle. It doesn't even say started anywhere because he didn't have a qualifying time. I think it was 20th. So there's no one board out on track at the moment in this Aussie car season finale, lest it even be our championship contenders. John, Chastity, Russell Clark. I think McKellar and Martin have made just a little bit of progress on them. I think they are closing in. Oh, but I think McKellar doesn't. I don't think McKellar wants to tow Martin up towards the top 5. I think that only helps Chastanoff if they catch him.
Yeah, I think McKellar will be doing everything he can to keep Braden Martin out of this, and then leave it as a one-on-one battle for Alex John and Chastanoff to fight for the last remaining points of the season. And as it stands, Alex John will walk away with it, but we are a long way from the finish here. We can see Russell Clark get an outstanding run up through the top of Long Rouge, dive straight down the middle as the seas part in front of him, almost like he commanded it, and he's going to go from third to first, as we've seen a number of drivers already do throughout this race.
So often we see when someone's going to make a position on the Kemmel Straight, they're going to make 2 or they're going to make 3. I mean, once you have that overspeed and how densely packed the cars have been racing in these packs, then you pick them all off. So Russell Clark, the real wild card of the top 5, not a lot to play for other than going out with a bang in the season finale. Some of those other guys thinking about the championship points for themselves, thinking about the team points, thinking about their teammates' championship battle, particularly for Martin and McKellar. I'm sure they'd love to help their teammates get to that drivers' championship. Like we explained, status quo at the moment benefits Alex John, so Alex McKellar doesn't want to mess around with that. Which locked-on car is this? It's Jeremy Bush that's been into the wall at the end of the Kemmel Straight. Did he make a mistake? Was he helped? There's quite a lot of damage on the front right of that car.
Yes, these cars not very well prone to absorbing the tyre barriers too well. Looks like it gets a little bit loose going into there, rides a little bit of curve out on the outside corner and straight across the track, sideways into the tyre. So it looks like minimal damage. There's no front, no rear damage, so you might have a little bit of steering damage there for the remainder of the race.
Live pictures, your top 3 glued together. So Clark the wild card, Chastanoff the challenger, Alex John the championship leader. Through Blanchimont they go, and they are going to be taking the white flag at the end of this one. It will be just one more lap to go at Spa, and the way they run, Alex John will be champion. But never say never at Spa, never say never. In Ozicar, we see wild things happen all the time. Look at Martin and McKellar get closer as well. 7 more kilometres in the season, 7 more kilometres to a championship for either Chastanoff or Alex John.
Yeah, interestingly, Braden Martin's got past McKellar there in the background. So a little bit far back to potentially play a part in this deciding factor. But at the moment, the championship leader sitting in P3 as they make their way through En Rouge, coming up onto the Kemmel Straight. That's exactly where he will want to be, knowing how strong that draft is. You can see already it's pulling him into effect. So he's just got to pick a line, dives to the right-hand side, which gives him the inside for the braking zone coming up. But by all accounts, he should have the move done and dusted well and truly before they hit the brakes.
Russell Clark gets the Ricardo Zonta treatment, and the winner in all of that looks to be Alex John. Chastanoff moving up 1 spot, but Alex John picking off 2, and Braden Martin furiously pedaling to try to become part of this, maybe battle for a podium again. Into Rivage we go, and for Alex John, this is the dream scenario to hold on to the end, but there's 2 hard charges, potentially 3, potentially 4, right behind him. Back in the pack is Darren Tune. He's down the inside of Gardner. He's also gotten past Ash Knowles there. He's looking to try to get clear of Gardner, but Gardner, as the track switches back to the left, holds the inside. Tune had a surprising amount of respect for track limits, more than I would have in that situation. They're also going to race side by side down towards Huon. I think the inside is again a really big advantage. A lot more grip there for Gardner, I think. More grip there as well for Ashley Knowles. At the lead though, James Chastanoff not close enough to Alex John at the moment. Russell Clark also trying to spoil his day a little bit. Braden Martin almost going to get into that slipstream on the way towards Blanchimont. Could he find himself in the picture towards the bus stop? James Chastanoff, he can see a championship driving away from him with one braking zone left in the lap. And Russell Clark trying to jump down the inside of him here as well. Not the spoiler that Chastity would have wanted. They're going to stay absolutely pinned through Blanchimont and around the outside. That is a huge run for Chastanoff. So he's looking down the inside here to get ahead of John. John just doesn't want to get tangled in any nonsense whatsoever. Chastity absolutely needs to win, and all five of them so close together. Coming out the end of the track here, McKellar and Clark together. But Chastanoff takes the win. Alex John takes second and the championship in Ozicar Skip Barber Series Season 11. Alex McKellar's not even going to make it to the line.
You can see the carnage unfold in the background. Nathan Verney coming around through that bus stop chicane. His eyes would have been the size of dinner plates as he come out of that final corner there and saw the carnage unfold in front of him. You still look here, big dive under brakes. Doesn't pay off, faces the wrong way, has to ride the sausage curb, and of course nearly hits the tyres to re-enter the track. But last minute ditch effort there to get the job done, and didn't see it through. Car number 13 on our screen at the moment, making his way through the bus stop. Ira Felberg crossing the line to complete his season, and in the background the battle is still on between the locked on car and of course Mark Jeffrey there in the bright orange.
Looks like Alex McKellar did manage to find just enough drive to get across the finish line. Otherwise, I don't think there's anything more Aussie car than breaking your drive shafts 5 meters from the finish line. That's the old Russell Clark special. Well, contact with Russell Clark nearly meant it was same story for McKellar, but what a finish there. Oh, so close. Chastanoff did all he could. He took that race win, but it's not a 9-point swing. I think Alex John is still your champion by an even slimmer margin than 9 points. But let's have a look at those results. Chastanoff, your winner. Alex John in second. Braden Martin snuck up into third on that final lap. Russell Clark a little delayed. Then Nathan Verney, Darren Toon, Neil Gardner, Ash Knowles, Sean Doyle, Matthew Mites. McKellar not even making the top 10.
Yeah, I can't see James Chastanoff being too disappointed with that. He's out on the track celebrating at the moment. We could have a quick look further down the field. Jamie Willits in 11. Then we do see McKellar in P12. Some 35 seconds behind the leaders there. So he managed to get it going. Liam Banks out of 13. Matthew Harriet, good job tonight, finishing in P14. Ira Felberg in car number 5. Crossing the line, P15. Peter Wilkinson in 16th. Mark Jeffrey following him across the line. Jeremy Bush, John Snell, and Darren Lasue ran out your top 20 this evening.
Last drivers.
Of course, is Leon Williams, 22, Craig Kermond, and Simon Dobner rounds out the last of the cars that are qualified finishers tonight. Brody Cook there finishing 8 laps down after his contact with the pit wall on the downhill run at En Rouge. Peter Bowling failing to finish tonight, 12 laps down, and Ben Snell, the first of our retirees, 13 laps off the pace.
Well, what a race, and what a season as well. We've seen some crazy racing this season on the dirt oval as well. Got some drivers starting to queue up. Before we get to them, just remember to thank series sponsors that make the championship and the broadcast possible. Locked On iRacing Podcast, Prestige Trophy Badge and Engraving. They are going to be engraving Alex John's name onto another trophy and 24/7 race control. Let's get then to our race winner, James Chastanoff. Big move at the end of the final lap there, but guess you've still in the championship come up just a couple pennies short.
Yeah, no, thanks guys. No, it was a good end to a very unpredictable race. Didn't really have any idea what was going to happen until the last few corners of that race.
And big picture strategy today. I mean, 2 stops, and it seems like you guys, once you broke clear in that top 5, you're all just doing the same thing. Any stress about the fuel numbers and other stuff throughout the race? What were you managing and thinking about until those crazy couple last laps?
Yeah, nothing too drastic. I guess the really long lap distance meant that you could really have a variety of different fuel levels when you came in and still get the same amount of laps done. So I was curious to see if anyone might come in the lap earlier on that second last stop, but everyone basically all ended up pitting at the same time. And I think everyone's fuel levels were more or less the same. Some of the guys who were at the back needed to use a bit more fuel to catch up into the slipstream, whereas us up at the front, we were just swapping places and saving a little bit. So nothing really too serious and stressing about how much fuel we were saving, just making sure that we were saving just a little bit when we could.
Did you work hard this week to rev up Braden Martin to play rear gunner for you?
No, not really. He did that all on his own. He just came out, and for most of that race, I was kind of sitting there going, you know what, it'd be really cool if we could actually get him the win here. So he gave his first on tarmac win, but unfortunately dropped back with the that pit stop, which I need to go back and have a look at that. That might have been a little bit dodgy. I'm not too sure exactly what happened. I kind of froze up and had Alex alongside me, so unfortunately he dropped back because of that. So yeah, it was good to see him right at the end, pit for third place though.
Yeah, exciting on that final pit entry, wasn't it? I'm yet to run any of the numbers completely, but I still think you've run one of the closest championship fights we've seen in a long time, points wise.
Yeah, Alex has just been on it, and you've kind of in this series you don't always need to be right on it. You don't have to have the best pace race to race. You just really need to be up at the front and making sure you're getting top fives consistently, and then you seem to do really well in the championship. And I always find that most of the time in this series only one person sort of gets away with having a clean championship. But absolute credit to him. Every week he was just faster. Every qualifying session, I don't think I got a single pole this season. He was just on it. He was just that little bit quicker. So all deserving to him to win the championship like that, and to have the pressure of someone who hasn't had an accident, knowing going into this race you had to finish the race without any incidents. That's something we don't usually see too often in this series. Usually you just need to finish top 20 or something and then you get the championship. So yeah, credit to him the way he drove today as well. It wasn't like he was driving for a championship. It looked like he really was battling for the race win. So yeah, credit to him.
Well, congratulations to you on this race win and a really competitive season. Look forward to seeing more from you, but any closing thoughts?
No, not really. Just want to thank Locked On boys, all the support you've given me throughout the week. Braden as well this week's been absolutely terrific. Coming back in and really being able to work together in this race has been awesome. Our sponsors, Brewster Coffee and CD Cinematography, as well as my other sponsors, Bay 21 Coffee and LGC Images, VFS, and One Sport as well. Thanks to all you guys, and thanks to you guys for running the show. It's been awesome this season. Watching back every race has just been it's a pleasure. Even if the races go too well, it's always good to go and watch the races back, listen to you guys chatter and sort of have little niggles at us when we mess up. It's been really good. So thanks to you guys. Thanks to Ira as well, and everyone else who's been driving in this series. It's just been awesome. This has been probably one of the more enjoyable championships, and that's on top of all the other good championships the series sort of puts together. So it's been really awesome. So thanks everyone.
Thanks, Chastity. Get good.
Thanks, guys, and just want to say hi to my cat who's just rocked up.
G'day, Earl.
Cat. Look forward to seeing you again. Ozicar goes strength to strength, so I'm sure there's going to be plenty more racing later on and into the new year.
It should be good. Looking forward to the F3s next week for the next 3 weeks. So as far as I know, I've driven the car a little bit and I'm absolutely useless at it. So could be me towards the back of the field trying to swim instead of drown. So that'll be interesting. So catch that one.
All right, see you then.
Cheers, guys. Thanks.
Jason, we continue to move on because a new champion is standing by. You're chatting with Alex John.
Yes, we're welcome into the commentary box. Second place getter tonight, but more importantly, our champion-elect, Alex John. Welcome to the commentary box, and what an outstanding race that was. How did you see things in those dying laps from your perspective?
Yeah, it was really good, and I thought we got away to a 3-car pack, which would have been perfect for me. That's all I needed, and then Braden did a fantastic job to catch back up to the train and make it really spicy in that last lap and the last chicane.
Yeah, there was a few moments throughout the race there where obviously the championship was playing a large part in your mind, and you just knew you had to keep the car clean. And one of those particular moments I'm thinking of was the second pit entry there, where the 5 cars all tried to make their way into a single lane, but somehow managed to get through there all without any carnage. And of course, managed to come out there, like you said, as a little group of 3, and you lost your teammate and Braden Martin there in the process. But amazing effort from those 2 to sneak back onto the back of the group as the laps counted down.
Yeah, that pit entry, I have to go back and watch that because I don't really know what happened or where anyone was positioned going in. I thought I was ahead, so I probably could have claimed right away with a better line, but yeah, they're definitely playing it safe. I don't know how I didn't get an X at some point there because it was like 3 cars on top of each other.
Yeah, it was an amazing job you did there with the great awareness to see potentially Chastity on the left-hand side of you, and you had the pit wall on the right-hand side. So from our perspective, it was a great bit of action there for us to call, but more importantly, it allowed you to come out with a fresh tank of fuel and point your nose in the right direction and head for that checkered flag and the all-important 17th lap where we crown yourself a new champion.
Yeah, thanks. It was really good. It was a nice race, and we got to do a bit of racing there at the end, which was good. Didn't want to just really want to sit there, and Russell trying to make it 3 wide in the last chicane made it really interesting. So yeah, just a little bit of caution at certain points and bring it home.
Yeah, we have spoke to Russell throughout the year, and he certainly made it well known that he was out there to not necessarily mess up the championship, but by the same token, he wasn't going to give anyone any favours either. He was very much a player in this group from the moment the lights went green tonight, and he was out there for a race win. He didn't really care what yours or Chastity's priorities was, but he was out there for some glory to end the season, and of course managed to take that right down to the drop of the checkered flag tonight. So amazing job by him, but we can't take any focus away from yourself tonight, managing to cross the line there in P2 tonight, which I'm sure you still consider it a great result.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I knew that was pretty much all I needed, or P3 would have been fine, but yeah, still wanted to try and go for the win, but just when it got too hectic, just take it easy and yeah, bring home a championship, which was really good because it was a fantastic field this year. Like, great job by Chastity and Braden. Although he missed a few rounds, he had strong races as well. A few strong races from Ben, a bit of bad luck, and yeah, like there was a lot of quick guys. So I'm really happy.
Of course, I don't think we've seen an iRacing Ozicar Skip Barber finish that has come down to the round, and particularly the dying laps like it has tonight. So popping some champagne or something in the background tonight to celebrate. Is that any plans?
Yeah, there is a bottle of bubbly in the fridge, so maybe tonight's the night.
So your teammate there in the background coming onto the straight obviously got caught up with a little bit of carnage, and it just proved how easy it can happen in these open wheel skip barbers. So unfortunately for Alex, just dropping out of the top 10 tonight, but he was there as a wingman for you quite for a large period of the race. Were you working together to try and save fuel and make that pit pass happen in the pit stops?
Yeah, absolutely. The second stint, we were just saving, and I was actually really surprised that Braden and Chastity got the extra lap in. We thought, because they were swapping constantly, and thought they must have been using fuel, but they did a really good job, and then they didn't seem to need any extra in the pits either. So that was surprising, but yeah, it's a really good team game, and a really top effort from Alex, and just hopefully that result at the end there doesn't cost him too much in the championship. But I think we should still come away with the teams as well. So that's a great result.
Yeah, double whammy there tonight. I think you guys pretty well had the teams things wrapped up even before going into tonight's race. So congratulations there on by taking both the trophies in that aspect. Would you like to throw over and thank any of your sponsors or your teammates tonight?
Yeah, look, I'll thank Alex. A good job, another good season, and he was absolutely a help in the championship. So thank you very much to him, and thank you to Ira and the whole team that are putting it on. It was really interesting. Dirt round was really interesting. I'd love to do heat races on dirt next time round, and I'm sure he's going to change it up and make a few cool changes for next season. So yeah, thanks to the Ozicar team, and thanks to you guys for putting on the great broadcast week on week.
Now, big congratulations to yourself tonight again, of course, taking away the 6-week series champion of Ozicar Skip Barber Series here tonight. So big congratulations. Of course, you can't ask for any more than one first in both the teams championships and the drivers championships. So a season for the record books nonetheless, and a great effort. Well done.
Yeah, thanks, guys. And I better just thank Chastity as well, because it was a great season. And I was really happy that it came down to the wire and we could battle it out to the end.
Season champion there, Alex John, tonight, having the final words and P2 in the closing race this evening. David, we'll throw over to our third place getter and the final gentleman on the podium tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. I've grabbed Braden Martin. Snuck your way onto the podium here after this enduro, mate, and really had to work for it in that final stint, it looked like.
Yeah, I thought pretty much after we came out of the pits that the front three were probably going to get away enough. I think a little bit of friendly battling helped me come back at the end. But even coming into that last section, I just thought I was probably a little bit too far back. I didn't think I was going to get enough, but managed to sneak up the inside. And thankfully, whilst trying to cut back, Russell and Alex had a little bit of an issue, so it was nice to sneak up there.
Yeah, absolutely. So what was the team strategy coming into this? You could only, I guess, assume what Top Split TV guys were going to do, and you managed to qualify well enough with Chastity to run together in formation for quite a good chunk of the race.
Yeah, it was pretty much, we basically needed Chastity to have 3 positions between him and Alex. So, when Russell came through sort of mid-race, I guess the hope was that, Chastity could win and then me and Russell could get ahead of Alex, but it was always going to be pretty tough. It was an enduro, obviously, which means there was, a few more gaps between points, but, when you don't have to take any risks or do anything like that, and Alex is obviously already super fast, it was always going to be a pretty tough order. So Chastity was pretty happy just to race, and I think he was more happy about winning an enduro race rather than trying to chase down the championship. It was more, if it happens, it happens.
Exactly. What about going forward across the summer here? You're fallen short on the team's championship, not from lack of trying, but from missing a little bit of the participation. We're going to see a lot more Braden Martin on the sim.
Yeah, I'll probably jump in and do the F3 series that's coming up over the next few weeks. Give that a go. Probably won't be any good, but we'll see how we go. It's a bit of a shame. I think with, Alex didn't have a great season this season, unfortunately. Alex McKellar, that is. Maybe we have to start calling him the other Alex now, seeing as AJ keeps reeling off these championships. I think we might have been out of pit top split for the team's championship this one if I had been able to get to the 2 rounds that I missed, but that's what happens. But yeah, I might try and fire up a few more streams when holidays roll around and see if we can get some more iRating.
Well, you got 1 win. You pull your finger out now. Hopefully there's some more on the way.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
And congratulations on the podium today, supporting your teammate, and hopefully see you around for more Aussie car going forward.
Sounds good, and thanks for giving me my first interview with you in a long time, David. I appreciate it.
Anything for my fans.
Have a good one, boys.
A little bit of bromance happening in the commentary box.
It's a lot easier when it's not AFL season, and then he doesn't like me half as much as he seems to right now. I think there's one more person we got to speak to, Jason Fewens, and that is series administrator Ira Felberg. He's put on another great season, another great competition, and it was close. Not only for that championship lead we were watching, but how good was the rest of the racing all today as well.
Yeah, Ozicar Skip Barber Series failing to, not failing to deliver again, I guess, as we tend to expect season in, season out. So Ira tends to throw a couple of curveballs in there. Of course, this season there was dirt endurance race. We've seen it in the past where they've gone to ovals. So always thinking outside the square and keeping the ahead of the curve, I guess Ira has been, and that's been part of his success to drawing the quality of drivers that he has into this Ozicar Skip Barber Series. And so he joins us now in the commentary box to wrap up, I guess, what has been another great successful season coming down to the wire.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, that's always I was just saying to the other guys in the green room there, that's always the event promoters, what his dream is to have it come down to the wire there. So having the Giro with a double points, I think I saw that opportunity and thought, yeah, that'll give it, at least if there's a gap, it gives someone an opportunity to make up more points. But yeah, all in all, been another great season. Like I just can't say enough about the drivers really, and and then tried the dirt, obviously, which I thought was pretty adventurous, and I actually thought it didn't work too bad. I thought the half-an-hour race was kind of a bit long, but then again, if you had 2 safety cars in there, it probably would have been all right. So, but I don't know if I would do that again. And look, we'll probably go back to the dirt one day, but it'll probably be a little while yet. We'll see. I think definitely keeping an oval, the drivers seem to be in favour of that, because every season, look, Braden won a race, so at an oval, so it throws something up different every season. So yeah.
So an amazing track to finish the season here at Spa. We did speak about it earlier on in the race, where it's very well suited to these cars, and the season has, of course, had plenty of action over the 6-week period, with a handful of drivers having some success and spending some time on the podium tonight, which is exactly what you want to see as a promoter. Different names up the front from different rounds, and that's exactly what Ozicar has delivered this season. So are we expecting anything into 2022, some announcements coming up on maybe the Locked On podcast in the next couple of weeks?
Actually, there was a bit of announcement on the podcast which just came out yesterday. Yeah, the only one, the new one. So the skippies will be rested up now till end of January, just to give everyone a bit of a break, because it is pretty serious racing and a lot of effort goes into it. But bad news for you guys is it's business as usual. So next week we're just going to run a little 3-week season starting next Thursday, same time slot, F3s, Formula 3s. Just for something different, and there's a 3-week gap. And I talked to Jay, I said, do you want to keep going? He said, yeah, no worries. So we're going to do that. And then I can drop a little scoop here, but if you listen to the podcast, you'll hear us talk about, we're going to do in early January another 3-week free season. And just what we were talking about, the ovals, I'm going to do a little 3-round short track skippy season. So yeah, STS, short track skips. So all free content. USA Speedway, Thompson Speedway, and Lanier is the other one. They're all free tracks, and they're all roughly the same size. So yeah, I thought, and what we're going to do for that is 3 15-minute races. So there'll be more details about that after Christmas. So yeah, the F3s start next week, and it's like we've got about 25 cars entered already, including Cameron Dance and Matt Marsh, amongst others. So I'm pretty excited to see to those two go out, and we're going to try and keep it nice and easy, fixed setups, one fast repair, and it's free to enter. So yeah, if anyone's ever watching this and thinking, I wouldn't mind having a go, it will still be broadcast live here and live race control. So yeah, jump over to aussiecar.net, that's the best place, and just fill out the entry form, and we'll be racing Formula 3s around Red Bull Ring next Thursday.
Forever the entertainer, and one of the better promoters in Australia, Ira, of course, doing this Skip Barber series, and of course keeping things fresh and alive, and keeping all the drivers interested and wanting to come back for more. Obviously, veterans in Cameron Dance and Matt Marsh have been around in the Ozicar Skip Barber scene for a long time, so it'll be interesting to see those guys back on track in the Formula 3 next for this next short season of 3 weeks. So some exciting times ahead here on Simspeed TV amongst the Ozicar Skip Barber community. So a brilliant job tonight to round out the season by all drivers. Of course, you're going to go away tonight, Ira, very proud of the product that you have developed, and along with Simspeed TV has brought to the viewers week after week. So kudos to you, and I can't wait to come back and sit behind the commentary box, and we'll see what 2022 brings.
Yeah, cheers, thanks. And obviously, not too much of that talk, my head will explode. But yeah, I just want to say thanks to you guys, obviously, as well, who do a great broadcast every week. The drivers always talk about how much they like it. Jay behind the scenes, Nathan and the Locked On boys for results and scoring. Craig Kermond, and also last but definitely not least, the three companies that make this happen financially, and that's Prestige Trophy and Badge, and they do real life trophies for like TCM and real life, so supports the people that support us. Locked On iRacing podcast, obviously, and 24/7 Race Control. Thanks very much, everybody, and we'll look forward to seeing you next Thursday night in the F3s.
There we go. That's his Ozicar founder and season organiser, Ira Felberg, there wrapping up what has been another successful season here on Simspeed TV.
Yeah, Ozicar Commissar, if you even will. I'm in 100% agreement with you there, Jason Fewens. Great season and also a great race to bring it all to a conclusion. Make sure you check out Ozicar on Facebook, on their website, if you want to join the upcoming seasons. David Haynes, Jason Fewens with me for this Simspeed TV broadcast. Fonty behind the scenes as well with our cameras and production, etc. They're on the screen, those three sponsors that make this season possible. Congratulations to race winner James Chastanoff. Congratulations to season 11 champion Alex John. We look forward to seeing you again soon and broadcasting it here on Simspeed TV. So make sure you are following us, and we'll see you for more Ozicar very, very soon.
Are you spending a lot of time looking for setups and struggling for faster lap times? Are you tired of searching online for answers? Would you like to get setups, analysis and tutorials from some of the best sim racers in the world like Ralph Alla, Mitchell de Jong, Martin Krunker, Josh Rogers and many more? If so, virtualracingschool.com is the answer you've been looking for. VRS data packs provide hot laps from our professional coaches for you to analyse and replicate. They provide tutorials that walk you through the fastest laps and what the pros did to achieve the best times. And they provide the setups you need to ensure your car is competitive in both oval and road racing. If you're ready to get faster and reach more podiums sooner than later, just go to virtualracingschool.com and sign up for a free account today.
This is fantastic. This is GT racing right now. He's got traction. He's got everything outside. Both of them. Maloney. Oh, he's taking Anderson. Anderson's up to him.
Oh my God! Oh, big crash. Oh my goodness, half the field's going to get rolled.
Second very close. These guys, I want to make their way through the field very quickly. Oh, there we go. Oh no, that's massive. This is it. This is over. I can't believe this. Oh my God.
God, what?